Hi, fourth graders. It's Miss Nadhouse here. I'm here today to ask you, how does the speed of an object affect the force of an object? In order to answer that question, we're going to do a little demonstration. So, in this demonstration, we are going to explore how the speed of an object depends on the amount of kinetic energy. Remember, kinetic energy is moving energy, or energy of motion. In order to do this experiment, we're going to need a plank, we're going to need some Post-its, we're going to need a ping pong ball, a cup, and some blocks. Okay, to set up our experiment, I'm only going to use 2 blocks right now. We'll save those other 2 for a moment, a little later. And I'm going to put 2 blocks underneath my plank. I am going to line up my cup so it's right at the edge of my plank. And I'm going to take a Post-it and place it right at the edge of where the front of my cup is. So I know where my cup started from. All right, now I'm going to take this ping pong ball and I'm going to roll it down my plank. Let's watch what happens to the cup. Okay, how far did the cup move? I'm going to put a little Post-it here to remind myself how far the cup moved. Now we're going to reset. And this time, instead of having 2 blocks, we're going to put 4 blocks up. I want you to think about how the speed of an object is going to change when I have a steeper plane. The best way to think about this would be riding a bicycle. If you were riding a bicycle or a skateboard and you were going down a hill and the hill was not very steep, how would that change the amount of speed that you have? How would it change if the hill was really steep? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and set this up, set up our reset. And now that we have a steeper plane, I'm going to roll my ball down and let's see how far it moves the cup. Okay. And then let's analyze our data. I'm going to put a Post-it down to represent the front of the cup here. All right. Here's where the cup started. When I had 2 blocks, so not very steep, it moved this distance. When I had 4 blocks, it moved this distance. So the cup moved more when it was steeper. What does that tell you about the speed? So which time, in which setting, the first one or the second one, did the ball have the greater speed? So which one did it have more energy? The ball moved further in number 2 because it was transferring more energy over to the cup. So its speed was greater, its energy was greater, and its force was greater. The ball didn't move as much in number 1 because the speed was less, the energy was less, and the force was less. What do you think would happen if I only had 2 blocks? I want you to make a prediction here. What do you think would happen if I only had, if I only had 1 block? What would happen if I only had 1 block? What would that tell me about the speed of the ball? What would that tell me about the energy of the ball? And what would that tell me about the force it can transfer or apply to this cup? What if I really increased the plane? What would happen to the ball's speed? What would that tell me about energy? What would that tell me about the force? Save those ideas for your Create later this week.